Hello, online renewable energy class. I wanted to use cooking as my project, and my first thought has been, oh wow, what if I can use the sun to cook my food? But then I realized it's fall in Minnesota, and our sunlight is waning at best, and so I decided to look up alternative options for cooking in a green way. And I came across the idea of the HayBox, which is basically just kind of an insulated container where you heat up your food, put it in the container, and hope it cooks. So I'm going to start researching what makes a HayBox effective, what's the most eco-friendly material I can use within my HayBox, and then I'm going to build something and cook some rice and beans. Granted, this isn't the kind of food that I would love to cook all the time, but I was thinking that maybe I should choose some food that's safe to eat even if it doesn't get cooked all the way through. So, this is the beginning of my process, and hopefully you'll enjoy seeing what I discovered. Thanks, class. Bye. I found an insulated bag. Right, I am in St. Paul in the wild outdoors. It's now winter, and I'm getting another insulator. So, I'm with my mom. This is my mom. And she has our good shovel, because she has a hay thing.
Bale.
A bale of hay for a hay box. Straw. Whatever, close enough.
How much do you need? I mean, not a sight you often see in the front yard of St. Paul. IKEA!
IKEA.
Doesn't everybody buy their straw at IKEA?
Alright, it's straw time. Well, my fellow renewable energy friends, I'm back in my house in Minneapolis, ready to make my box. So, upon reading several more articles on the good old internet and looking up an old-timey book or so, everyone suggests by starting with a well-insulated box. Now, I don't have the time to build my own wooden crate, nor do I have the tools and money to just get really fancy with design, so I'm starting with cardboard. Also important to my HayBox building is the fact that none of the insulators or the box itself will be bought materials or new materials, because part of renewable energy is to reuse and recycle. So everything is a found object or a reused object, including this cardboard box, some old tape I found, the hay which my mom had already gotten, some sawdust that came from the stage tech area of the University of Minnesota Rarick Center, and the food, of course, will have to be new because I don't feel like reusing other food. My roommates are gonna kill me if I bring this straw inside. Oopsies. I'm gonna stuff this straw around the edges. This is about what the pot's gonna do. So I think I might just keep this straw on the outside of the bag to fold over and fill a straw on the outside of this. Perfect. I think I got a little too much hay. Oops. Keep a separate pan in there to hold the shape and the space while I stuff more and more straw on the outside. I guess for the insulator to properly work, according to everything I've read, it needs to be tightly packed in there. So when it comes time to cook, I'll just replace it with this pan. Don't make any difference, but you know, I've got this sawdust that I'm just putting in as well. Who knows? Might tie it all together. Woo-hoo-hoo. And I've changed my mind. It's not rice and beans today. It's gonna be mac and cheese. Here we go. So I started boiling at 434, and we're gonna see how long it takes to boil these 3 cups of water. 4 minutes later, and we have a boil. Add the mac and cheese. Flatten it out so there's an even distribution. On goes this. We'll give it 1 more minute in there just so that the noodles can be in boiling water. And then we'll put it in the box. Alright, off they go. There are the noodles. They're gonna go in. Ah! We don't want to lose this wonderful heat we have. Take out my pan. Put my nice hot pan in here. Down inside of the box. I'm assuming if this was something you actually wanted to do, you would create more efficient methods that didn't include handled pots, probably. But there we go. Okay. Heat in there. Wrap it up. And of course, the pillow, which I'll get to wash after this, to keep it all insulated in. Ta-da, da-da-da-da. Shannon's HayBox. Okay. So, in a normal world, my mac and cheese would be done around 4:50-ish. And then I'd add my cheese and my milk and my butter. But let's give it a little time to boil in this magical place. And we'll stop it at about 5:25, just for fun. And we will see how it goes. Alright, let's see if the noodles are done. Well, that's cool. Some of them are definitely a little harder because the water tilted at an angle, which I didn't notice, but here's the moment of truth. They got cooked all the way through. In fact, I think I maybe even cooked them a little too long. So I'm gonna drain these and eat some mac and cheese. Yum. Mac and cheese success. Thanks, HayBox. So in conclusion, I discovered that my HayBox method works. Granted, I used mac and cheese where the water soaking around the noodles for a longer time, even if it was cold, might soften the noodles too. But the actual boiling method and then waiting worked to cook the noodles all the way through. I'll be interested to try this method maybe in the future when I have more time over winter break with some other dishes that require a little more attention. But in the meantime, I do know that it is a process that keeps heat. When I took the pan out of the insulated area, it was almost as hot as when I had just taken it off the oven. So with that said, I know that the process works. It's also been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And although a little archaic, the method has worked for people in saving energy as well as cooking when they're hiking. They'll just cook something early in the morning and bring it out on trail and then heat it up again at night and it's ready to go. So all of these different methods of the HayBox have been really interesting to look into. However, I found that in the time that I was waiting, even just those like 30 extra minutes that I took to just leave it in there, I ended up using my microwave and my stove to eat other snacks because I was hungry. With that said, is it really worth it to use this method? because of how much time it does take. Well, I was looking up on my CenterPoint energy bill right here, and I looked at the cost of natural gas per therm and how many therms we use in a year. Well, this bill was for the last month, and it was moderate. It was only $30, but that's without any sort of heat at all. As you can see on this nice little chart, it shows the months on the bottom and the usage up on the y-axis. And you can see that there are definitely some months, especially in Minnesota, that you'd be more conscious of the gas that you're using. However, since we chose November as our representation for this one, it was only $30, and that natural gas was mostly being used for cooking or for water heating, which only is only the showers. But the other ones, because our house is heated by a radiator system, I think the gas is a little higher come wintertime. So my CenterPoint bill reflected mostly just cooking. With that, I think that judging by just the time it takes to boil water and to boil mac and cheese normally, my experience is that it is possibly 4 minutes to get the water to boiling, and then an additional 8 to 10 minutes to fully soften the noodles. With that said, we only use those 4 minutes to boil the water. After that, we just put it into the HayBox. So you save those 8 to 10 minutes of cooking, maybe only using a third of the gas. With that said, I don't know how much you can trust with like meat products or eggs. That's what I want to try out next. With that said, I think it'd be an interesting experiment to continue in the future. But thank you for watching my discovery with mac and cheese and with my building of my HayBox, and hopefully if you're interested in renewable energy and cooking, you'll try this. Or even try some solar cooking, that's something that's been interesting, or finding foods that don't require as much energy to put together. Yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully your projects have been going well as well. Have a good one, class. Bye.